Hey, hello, it's thieleaf. Um, I'm going to do a currently inked for you. It's been a really long time since I've done one. Mostly because when I have done them in the past, I've been really set on doing, these big ink swatches. Like this is a currently inked that I have filmed, I just haven't edited. And I'm just gonna decide to not do that. I'm just going to write out the inks that I'm using in the pens so that the video is not super long. And it will give me a bit more of a chance to talk through some of the pens, I think. There are going to be quite a few, so this is probably still going to be quite a long video, and I am going to try and not really edit it too much. This does unfortunately mean there is going to be a little bit of construction noise happening outside. There's nothing I can really do about that. Yeah, so in this case, I have, oops, that one's falling. I have these pens here. And then on the side, I have these ones. And these are currently everything that I'm using. Some of these I'm soon to be done with. And there is one that I was using, but only just about kind of basically finished this one off now. That one was here. This was Yuki in the Cult Pens Silver. So yeah, some of those pens are actually on this page because I've had them inked since December or January and February, as these are. But yes. So let me grab a pencil board, and I will try and go in order of when I inked them. Let me pull up my okay. So first we have 3 kawecos. These 3 I have had inked. Well, actually 3 kawecos and the benu pixie. These have been inked since December. It's currently May. I am going to be done with them once I write with them in my copy paste, but I have been enjoying writing them with them just in general. So first there is the burgundy kaweco sport in a fine nib, and it has harahara, so the shikiori harahara. I think I did quite a full fill on this one, so there's still actually quite a lot of ink. I'm just going to keep using it. I might have to zoom you in because my handwriting is small. Okay, let's try. That might be... is that enough? I feel like... there. We'll go with this. Okay, so I spot burgundy in a fine, and this is the shikiori harahara, and I've had it inked since the 15th of December, and I'm British, so I write that as 1512. This is my normal size of handwriting. Apologies. It turns out it actually really hurts my hands to write bigger, so I'm not going to do that. So then we have the kaweco sport aluminium and the olivine colour. It's also in a fine. I believe all of the kawecos I have inked currently are in a fine nib. So this one is also almost wrote 22 then. Wait, AL. Fine. Fine. This is tsurubami, a really lovely kind of desaturated brown. I have been using it. Hold on, I can actually maybe show some writing examples if I can. Here I was using it in this book. Obviously my handwriting's pretty bad in this notebook because this is very rough notes for things, but yeah, I have been enjoying that one quite a lot. Harahara was also used in here too. Yeah. It's a little bit darker than I would like, but it is really nice. I definitely prefer it in a drier pen. Okay, next up we have the Cult Pens Gold. I really do love this pen and how sparkly it is. It's very different to the silver. The silver has the shimmer and also glitter pieces, whereas this one is just shimmery. And you can even see through the converter a little bit that I've not got that much left. So this one, ooh, sorry, the tip of the nib has like a little, I don't think it's going to show, there's like a little bit of something on the end of it. Okay. Oh, sorry, I hit the, okay. Oh no, it's been so well behaved for ages. Okay, I will just... I love that as soon as I do a video, it's gonna be like a little bit misbehaved, but oh well. There we go. Now it's fine. It is a shimmer ink. It very, very occasionally gets just a little bit clogged, but it's nothing that just running something between the tines doesn't fix. I am really sorry about the construction noise. I wish I could do something about it. My window's closed. Sorry, I'll wait until we're actually done. And then there is this one, this Benny Pixie in the Honey Bronze. This one is in an extra fine. It's one of the few pens I own that isn't a Kaweco Sport, a TWsbi Eco, or a Sailor. Also inked on the 15th of December. This is Lennon toolbar. Miscanthus Hills. It is very pale. It's a very well behaved shimmer. I've never had any problems with it in any pen. And it is very pale, but I do really like the way that it behaves. Here it is in my copy paste. You can see there's some bits of shimmer. It is actually shimmery throughout, it's just that there are some moments where it's much more shimmery. But yeah, even in that nice large writing, it's still quite readable. Obviously it depends on, you know, your own tolerances for pale inks. Okay, next we have two pens that were inked on the same day. So we have this TWsbi Eco in the Irish Green Onyx, and this one is inked with Sailor Manyo Kuri. I actually used quite a bit of it in the past couple days. A couple days ago it was more up to here with ink, and it's quite lowered because I wrote a whole bunch of notes with it. Yeah, I started my notes here, and then I have to turn it to the side. It's just, you know, page there, page there, page there, page there, and page there, page there, and then just over half a page here. But it is a really interesting colour. I do really love it. It's always different in every single pen I put it in. It's a slightly different colour. Okay, so this one was the 8th of January. And it's surprising that I don't mind how wet this is. Because this is a very wet pen for me. But definitely if I were to put a dark ink in here, I would hate it. Yeah, I might have to refill this a little bit before I get to do my copy-paste entry. To pair with that is, again, one of the few pens I have that isn't a small size Sailor, TWsbi Eco or a kaweco. This is the Sailor Perfect Casual L, so it is the same size as any of the Perfect, like, standard gold nibs. They are also called the 1911s. It also means it's the same, the grip section is the same as the just normal Pro Gear. The nib is a little bit shorter than those 14 karat gold versions. And it is actually a little bit too thick for me. There is, holding it, there is just a small hint of space here between my fingers. My camera won't focus on it for some reason. And this amount of space right here causes my this knuckle and this knuckle to get really painful. I just can't quite hold it the way I would normally. You can see actually that this was the pen I used first in these notes. I was using it here, from up here, this page. And I got to the end of this page and felt fine, but then doing another page, and then here, I had to swap the pen over because it was just hurting my hand a lot to hold. So anyway, I mean, it's a lovely pen. It's my own personal preferences for thinner pens. This is the Perfect Casual L in a medium fine. I will say it has a little bit less feedback than a lot of other Sailor pens. It's much smoother. And this is Ferris Press Moss Park Green. I should mention I have quite a few Ferris Press inks. I bought them before they made a Harry Potter collaboration. I will not be buying any more Ferris Press inks, but I don't think it's useful to just not use the things that I already have. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to jolt you. Okay, so next we have a perfect casual, a normal one, with a fine nib. This was inked on the 12th of February. And this very fine nib experience, because the ink is a little bit drier, and I think this pen in particular is just a little bit on the dry side. Oh, I didn't write, hold on, shimoyo. I didn't write the color for this, the Perfect Casual L. It's called muted green or clear green, depending on whether you're looking at the Japanese information or the English. Yes, this is a fine, and this is Seda, yurameku, seki. So it's mostly just a grey, and I don't really get too much of the chroma shading appear in this one, but it is still really fun, and I do like having a really thin grey. Next up is what I would consider to be a pair of pens, and these two. They are the esterbrook limbs from the newest shikiori line. I managed to get these because they were mislabeled in their price. Yeah, I won't be able to get any more esterbrook limbs in the foreseeable future. But yes, this one is harutsugedori, which I will of course write for you. Inked on the 22nd. And these ones have wonderful feedback, especially this one. Harutsugedori. They are, of course, medium fines. And this one is lennon toolbar, Madagascar, almond. Quite a long name. Quite a pale green. But yeah, a really lovely combination. And then this one, and I love this finial. The clear finial here is really lovely. This one has a more like creamy colored one. So this one, I'd love that to stop. This one is wakataka, also in a medium fine, and this ink is the Esterbrook Coffee Monsters Co. Forgotten Iced Coffee. I will be doing some better close-ups of all of these at the very end, by the way. I'm aware that they're not the most visible. But yeah, I've been using these two a lot in my journal, especially the harutsugedori. It's been really lovely. For some comparison, here's what the colours are kind of looking like so far. They're going to be, the contrast is going to be upped by my phone. And actually inked on the same day was this Perfect Casual, the hanakanmuri. So this is a very pale pink. And this is wearingeul Bright Rabbit. It's a similar kind of feeling combination to shimoyo with seki, in that it is quite a dry combination. If I were to write bigger than I write, it would probably feel very unpleasant, but because of the size of my writing, it's lubricated enough to feel fine. Okay, so then these were all, you know, in winter, so this is December, January, February. We now move on to the things that I actually inked during spring. So the first one of those is the Purgeslam in the dried lavender. I'm forever sad that the second series of the dried flowers, which has the green, is when the price increases happened, because I will not be able to get that green one. But yes, it has this lovely engraving there. And this was the 1st of March. This is the first medium nib we're gonna see. Slim. Dried lavender. Medium. And this is Sailor, Shikiori, Nadeshiko. Not the manyo one. A really lovely chroma shading, purple. Much brighter than this pen, but I think it really makes a nice combination. Okay, next up we have the TWsbi Eco in the glow purple. You can see I'm also nearly done with it. I might have to add a little bit more ink. This one is in an extra fine. This was inked on the 5th. And this one, TWsbi Eco Glow Purple, extra fine, is Tonal and Limbs. L'Assemblon. It's a really pretty purple, a really pretty green. On this paper it looks quite different to Lennon by Madagascar Almond, but on my journal in the Life Pistachio paper they actually look very similar. Yes, it has some really nice chroma shading as this dries, although it's still quite wet right now. Okay, so then we have the Kaweco Sport Iridescent Pearl. This is actually one of the first fountain pens that I ever got. When I first got into fountain pens, I bought two Kaweco Sports, this one and the dark olive, so this is one of the first ones. But when I bought it, it had a medium nib, and it has a fine in it right now. This is on the 12th. Iridescent Pearl. And this is Sailor Ink Studio 162. A really pretty blue with some chroma shading, which does actually come out somewhat in this, which is really nice. Okay, next, on the same day actually, was the TWsbi Eco Matcha, and this one has Diamine Cult Pens. Sultry Strawberry. One of the first inks I bought too. So was this actually. 162 was one of the first inks I bought. And this ink I actually used quite a lot in my journal without putting it into a pen. This is actually the first time I ever put it in a pen, even though I've had this ink since 2023. We go matcha. And this is an extra fine, yes, I thought so. I'm slowly moving from having my TWsbi ecos in fine and extra fine, and I'm kind of just leaning more towards the extra fines. I mean, I think you can see that it kind of matches more in line with what I prefer. Diamine, Cult Pens, Sultry, Strawberry. I feel like this color lineup so far really needed this pink. Everything was so brown other than this one purple. Okay, next up is the thieleaf wearingeul. Really lovely one that I got for very cheap because Amazon Japan. And this one has an ink that Bucky gave to me. So I got this on the Sailor. And this is, for some reason, everything so far has been kind of not complementary, it has been kind of in a more analogous color scheme to the pens. I don't know why this is one of the first actually contrasting things. I suppose the green and the purple is contrasting. But yeah, I've for some reason recently had a lot of pens with matching colors. I don't really know why. I thought this was a really fun combination. Anyway, this is Birmingham Pen Co. Root Cellar. Really, really fun. Quite a bold orange with like a pink undertone, and then it also has some green sheen, but not too much that I don't, that it hurts my eyes or anything. Okay, next we have another Progress Limb. This one is the Solatam Huggy. If you look closely, there is some sparkle to it. It's hard to get to show up in natural light. We're back to same colors. There we go. Sailor, Procreate, Slim, Huggy, and this is a medium nib. And this is Tono and Limbs Cosmic Tarantula. It's a color that actually quite matches the pen itself, just a slightly desaturated pink. I had debated putting this in the Perfect Casual Yozakura, but decided that I wanted it to be a bit bolder on the page. I've been using this one quite a lot actually. I suppose I could show examples of all of these in my journals. I just haven't been doing that. But for example, here you go. There it is in this one. Just a really nice pop of slightly muted color. Next we have two recent additions to my pen collection, which is the shadow green and the light green from the Luna Sports. I really love both of these. So the light, which it's a shame, it's showing up much more pearlescent than it in person to me than it is on camera. I'm trying to like get a good grasp of it, but oh well. That hard start was because of the angle of the paper, by the way. Not actually the pen. And this is another Tono and Limbs color. And it is the Kaleidoscope Awa. On this paper, which is original Tomoe paper, it is quite green and stays green, but on other papers it becomes a little bit more blue. So you can see on the Life paper there, it dries a little bit more blue. Yep, and then we have this one, the Shadow. It's a little bit too wet for me still, but you know, it is what it is. Sailor Yurameku Mamayoi. This is my favorite ink. It is one that I'm almost finished with the bottle of. But I love how it's so dark when it's like this. However, here in my more messy handwriting, it's much paler. It really gets some. Okay, and then we have the ones that I inked quite literally yesterday. So there is the twsbi Eco Harahara, and you can kind of already see the kind of color that's in here. Of course, in an extra fine. Dominant and ooh, what happened there? Maple. So this ink color I'd actually been using in a dip pen multiple times in my journal because I'd felt the need for like a kind of desaturated red color. So I decided I would just ink that into a pen so I would have to stop needing to use it as a dip pen. Or in a dip pen, I mean. Then we have my Sailor Frigir Slim Fuki, also a solar term. This one also has sparkle, although it's harder to get to show up on camera. You might think that this does look very similar to harutsugedori, and they do. My camera doesn't show the difference too well. This Fuki has a little bit more translucency to it. You can just slightly see through some of the parts of it, like just a hint of the converter and stuff, whereas this one is a solid color. It also has more white in it. I don't know how to phrase it. This one looks like a really milky matcha latte, and this one does not. I don't really know how to compare what this one looks like in comparison, but yeah. Yes. Also, this one has no shimmer at all. But yes, so this one. A very pale color. Fuki, and it is in a medium. This is definitely a wetter medium than my other sailor mediums, I will say. But this is Ferris Wheel Press Treasured Manuscript. Very pale green brown kind of yellow color. Really nice though. Next we have the Sailor Prophet Junior, and this one is the cap and nib from the Mizutama Yosui, but it is the body and grip section of the yurameku and manyo. I just thought they made actually a very nice combination. I just wish I could have had this very end bit be grey, but you know. So this one is also an ink that Bucky gave to me very kindly. I'm very excited. So, Sailor Prophet Junior Yusui / Mamoyoi, medium fine, and this ink is Pilot Hiroshi Zuku Inaho. Yeah, I'm very excited. There's a lot more shading if I write larger, of course, as is everything, but yeah, no, it's really lovely. I'm very excited. And then finally, because I'm almost 40 minutes into this video, my Sakura Mochi Progress Len. Look at some of those sparkles. In a medium fine nib. Actually, this pen and the Hagi, actually the nibs for them are swapped. This one I originally bought in a medium, and the Hagi I bought it in medium fine, but I've swapped the nibs just because of the kind of inks that I would put in either of them. And this one is a bit of a strange choice for me. It's not something I would normally go for. And that is that I'm putting quite a dark color in here. Sailor Pro Gear Slim. Sakura Mochi. Fine. And this is Shock Urban Lidete. I might at some point put some water in here to just dilute it a little bit, because in my print writing there's no shading at all, which is kind of what I had wanted, to have that like gradation there. But yeah, it's very unlike me to want to use a dark ink, as I think can be ascertained by all of these choices. And the fact that, you know, even the dark inks that I have used, I normally put in very dry pens. So anyway, I'm going to pull this up a little bit so we can see a little clearer. There will have to be some like movement going on. In fact, no, I won't move it. I'll just kind of hold it like this and slowly move down so you can see. I'm sure the colors were not entirely accurate, but you know. Okay, what was I going to show? I can show how they look in here, in my journal. So this is that treasured manuscript. Here is Bookkeeper's Brass. You can see it being a little shimmery there. This one is awa. I'm just saying the ink names. This one is wasambum. Here is wearingeul, white rabbit. There is maple, predominant industry. This one is in a dip pen, so that's not actually counted. This one is the moss pot green ferris press. Here is the Sailor Ink Studio 162. Here is the tsurubami. Here, actually, okay, this one is wasambum, which you can see here. This one is the Madagascar almond. Here is ryugujo. Here is cosmic tarantula. What colors haven't I shown? This one is the benu pixie with the miscanthus hills. Hopefully you can see some of the shimmer, but maybe not. Here is nadeshiko. I feel like there are some things that haven't been shown yet. Yes, here is amamayoi. Here is sultry strawberry. Here is forgotten iced coffee. I mean, here's Yuki Usagi. I only really recently stopped using that one. This is harahara. Here is kuri. And then here is shimoyo seki as well. I think that's it. I think that's everything. Let me check. I don't think there was another ink that I didn't show off there. I mean, this is nicer writing with ryugujo, for sure. And I think that's it. But yes, you can see here there's a transition here and here between wasambum and Madagascar almond. You can see that transition happen just there. But in low lighting especially, it's very similar. Okay, I think that's everything. Let's zoom out. Nope. Okay. So, I realize I've had coffee to the side and it's probably cold now, because this took way longer than I expected. But yes, this is my currently inked. I'm really hoping to get through some of these December inks in my copy paste, but actually in my copy paste, we have Miscanthus Hills to go. Then there is the Bookkeepers Brass in the Kaweco Sport. Then there is this one, which you haven't seen, Diamond Masquerade in the Kaweco Sport, tsurubami in the olivine, harahara in the burgundy. And then we have all of these other pens that I do still technically have inked, but I'm not using at the moment. So Velvet Emerald by Diamond in the Perfect color shikiori, the Yuki Usagi, Yoraki and Yoraki, Fortune's Gold in a Jinhao 82, Diamond Tranquility in the A Perfect Junior, the purple one, Merry and Bright also in a Perfect Junior, and Sugar Snap also in a Perfect Junior. There are some others actually, because it's here. So there's one more too, and that is my Meigetsu also has Lennon toolbar. What is it called? red beans in there. So I've got these pens, 5, 6, 7, 8 pens that all have ink in them that I need to use in this book and just haven't been because I've been too distracted by other things, such as writing pages and pages and pages of notes for a book that I'm reading, as you see here. Close reading a book. I think here's page 1 of the book that I'm reading. There's where page 2 happens. Here's page 3, page 4, page 5, page 6, 7, 8, 9 happens somewhere around here, 10 and 11. Yeah, I've been quite close reading, is kind of the vibe of that one. Yes, the point being that I've been a little bit distracted from doing my copy-paste stuff, which means that I can't un-ink a bunch of pens, especially since I've already laid out the pages for them, so yeah. Anyway, this is a really long video considering I didn't even do any of the, like, big swatches. I mean, you can see some of the swatches here for harahara, tsurubami, miscanthus hills, bookkeepers brass, Moss-pot green, white rabbit, Madagascar almond, forgotten iced coffee, seki, and kuri. But yes. Anyway, that's everything. Hopefully the construction noise wasn't too bad. I am really sorry about it. There's just not really anything I can do to change that. Yes. Okay. That's everything. Goodness, I've talked for a while. Okay. Bye.